tell. It's gonna be a great Noel. It's the Advent Calendar House. Muppets, Batman, Smurfs, and even Garfield's Halloween. We're gonna take a trip down memory lane. Frosty, Rudolph, and a bunch you've probably never seen. It's Mike and pals that come to entertain. Turn the knob and lift the latch for fun and laughs that can't be matched. Just beware the icy patch. It's the Advent Calendar House.
Welcome back to the Advent Calendar House, the official holiday podcast for people who put all their color tablets in a single cup of water so they can dye their Easter eggs a radiant shade of charcoal gray. Don't act like you didn't do it, and don't act like you don't know the animal mascots from the Paas Easter egg dye kits by name either. They're the supporting cast of today's Easter special, so let's get things rolling back to 1983 to meet Peter and the Magic Egg. I am rapidly growing magical forest baby Mike Westfall, and joining me is a man who replaced his entire body with robot parts but still can't plow faster than a 12-year-old. Please welcome back Sammy Hain. Hello, Sammy.
So you want the intro? Then the intro I give.
Well done.
The Icy Watch a look out for, definitely, maybe.
Well, there it is. We'll paste that in the end. No, we will not. And the mysterious shadow of the Easter Bunny who never lets anyone see his face. It's Chad Young. Hey, Chad.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Sammy. I am happy and happy to be here today, even though these audiences aren't getting any better.
We made it. All right. So who else has had this special lodged in the back of their brain for the last 30 or so years?
So I can't say it was 30, but I can tell you my first experience with this one.
Okay, go.
So a number of years ago when my now wife and I were dating in our first year, it was Easter, and I was in this mindset where she had these 3 kids. I was all anxious to show what a great family guy I could be. So I showed up for Easter weekend with all my Easter movies. I had all the Rankin Bass. I had the claymation. It was like, I'm Mr. Easter. And like, she's like, oh, okay, great. Yeah, we only have this one over here that we always watch. And she had the DVD of this. And I was like,
wow,
what is this? I know these characters. I've put these characters on 100 eggs, but I have never seen a special with these characters. And so I got to have a magical introduction to the Magic Egg that year.
Very nice. Chad, how about you?
I'm not going to lie. I've known about this for maybe... Look, it doesn't really matter. But I kind of knew about it, but at the same time, I had never really sat down to watch it or really know anything about it. So I'm just here for the bunnies.
Very nice. That's why I invite you on.
It's my motto.
Yay. Yeah.
Here for the buns. Put it on a bumper sticker.
Oh, yes.
This is one I remember watching, but I don't think my parents taped it. I just remember watching it. There are lines and songs from it that I've had stuck in the back of my head for decades. From what I could find, it looks like Peter and the Magic Egg debuted in syndication on March 26th, 1983, and then HBO aired it in 1986. So I'm guessing that's when I caught it. Because 83, I was still kind of young. In March 83, I was 2, so I had no memory of that. And I remember like buying our first VCR. So it was after that. So HBO probably. But before we peel the shell off this special, let's get to know the company behind the familiar faces we're about to meet as we explore the history of us. Founded in 1881 in Newark, New Jersey by drugstore owner William Townley, who originally sold Easter egg dye in packets for 5 whole cents under the brand name Paas, taken from paasdag, the Dutch word for Easter. The dye was sold as a set of color tablets starting in 1893, and they've barely changed since.
I like the history given to us by one Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Old man Paas sticking to his guns.
I just imagine their founder, some guy named Henry Paas, going, let them go to their little shaking eggs or their Ronco things. They'll come crawling back. We're Paas. My father started this company with one color tablet, and it was white, and we were thankful.
I think some of that hubris we're going to see as we go forward to this special.
Oh, yes. But 90 years later, at the height of cartoon commercialism, we were blessed with this tie-in special written by Romeo Muller of Rankin Bass fame. Don't think I realized until this year that Romeo Muller wrote this.
It's very, very, very clear to see that he wrote it, just given the corniness and all the music. It's very, very clear.
Yeah,
I just thought they were trying to ape the style in their clear attempt to become the Easter special.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because if you look at the production list, Fred Wolf, he was the director of this, and of course he went on to go do Ninja Turtles and Alvin and the Chipmunks, California Raisins, and like about a million other things. But here's the interesting thing: is in 1974 he did something that it wasn't very child friendly. I don't know if you guys know about it. Mike, you and I may have talked about this. Sammy, I don't know if you know about this one. Do you know where I'm going, Mike?
possibly. So,
I was just listening to the American Rabbit one, so I think I know where you're going.
that's what, yeah.
Okay.
So Fred Wilk also directed The Adventures of the American Rabbit, if you remember that episode way back. So take us there, Chad.
He did the Ralph Bakshi, Fritz the Cat knockoff, the Down and Dirty Duck. Which he did that with Charles Swenson, which, Charles, long story short, Swenson, Murakami, Wolf Studios did a lot. But that was one of their very first ones, and it was not good. It was horrific. It's embarrassing. It's not good. Like I said, though, it was a ripoff of Fritz the Cat, which was, very popular underground by Ralph Bakshi at the time. And funny enough, with the exception of Rusty Taylor, the entire voice cast in Peter and the Magic Egg, they were all voice actors on the sequel, 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. And that one, honestly, I like 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat more, but there is a lot of questionable connections going on here.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising when you see it at first, and then when you realize this is a Fred Wolf joint, you realize, oh, okay.
You're saying this was their penance then. They just came out of Lent.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll get to it, but oof.
Thankfully, the animation style in this more closely resembles Fred Wolf's more child-friendly projects like Strawberry Shortcake and Puff the Magic Dragon, if you've watched those.
There are still some signs that he was kind of, getting into his own, but you can still kind of...
Yeah.
At that time, maybe within the first 15 years of him breaking in, he wasn't the most... How do I put this? His animation was still a little on the crude side here.
Yeah, still refining it.
Yeah, he's getting there, but it definitely wasn't Down and Dirty Duck. I think that's very fair to say.
It's an improvement from that.
It's a very big improvement.
It's not at American Rabbit levels yet, but that could be a budget issue.
Oh, gosh.
But the character design of the known Paas mascot characters is spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they weren't going to let that go for any less than. There's the Paas dynasty to uphold there.
And we will meet them shortly. We do see them quickly as this special opens on Doppler's Egg Farm in Pennsylvania, Dutch country. Yes, that's right. The Paas mascots have been spending most of their lives living in an Amish paradise.
Ooh, nice.
Nice one.
So for a kid like me, this establishing shot includes these characters I know from punching out of cardboard boxes every year.
Those horrible stickers.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed on this is because they're just establishing this is very Pennsylvania Dutch, and you have the hex signs everywhere on like the town signs and on the roofs, which they're just saying, yes, this is Pennsylvania Dutch. But if you watch a lot of horror movies, you know, if you ever see that, there's a warlock in town, there's curses. That's what the mindset it puts me in.
You're not wrong. But everyone's rushing to hear the story, as they refer to it, as told by Uncle Amos, a Humpty Dumpty-like talking egg in traditional Pennsylvania Dutch hat and outfit. He's even got the neckbeard, and he's voiced by Ray Bolger, the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz.
Humpty Dumpty, I'm not. I'm Uncle Amos, the egg. So, you want the story? Then the story I give.
Good man.
This was one of his last roles.
Oh, what a way to go.
Yeah, died a few years later in 1987. His last ever roles were this, and as a ghost in a Halloween episode of Different Strokes where Arnold and Danny Cooksey dress up like Ghostbusters and go in a haunted house.
Classic.
Chad, we're going to go watch this afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are.
There we go. But first, we got to talk about Easter, and Uncle Amos tells us the story from before these animals learned to speak English or wear clothes. But apparently, they're welcome inside the farmhouse of Papa and Mama Doppler, a couple of poor old farmers.
You're being generous in calling this English.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
so
Pennsylvania Dutch.
Well,
all right, so I'm out here on the West Coast, so maybe I don't know, but is this a trait of a Pennsylvania Dutch accent where they talk like Yoda?
no.
No,
Not at
I didn't
all.
want to jump in not knowing anything.
not at all. I don't know where they're going. No, Dutch is actually it's not a mistranslation, but it's German. They're German.
Yeah. It would be like a Family Guy German accent, I feel like. Like, I just, it just, oof.
Kingpin's got it right.
Yeah.
So Papa Doppler is voiced by Bob Holt.
But how? From where? For why?
There he is.
There's a voice we haven't talked about in a while. He was a few voices in American Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all have a go-to Bob Holt role?
Well, you know, yes, 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat, to be honest. But that's really all I know him from. He was like, I think he was God. I couldn't tell you a thing that Bob Holt was in. And I'm looking at his filmography now, but
My go-to is the Lorax. He was the original voice of the Lorax.
he was the Lorax.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. It says he was a Mogwai and a Gremlin. He was on.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Rodney in American Rabbit. He was.
I mean, he was the Hulk.
Oh, wait a minute. He was the Incredible Hulk?
Yep, 1982.
No. Oh, wow.
Yup.
How do I not know that? Jeez. Okay, so then don't I feel silly because that was a great cartoon. Whatever.
And Mama Doppler is Joan Gerber, the original voice of Mrs. Beakley from DuckTales.
That's her.
Oh, Papa, don't question when such a wonderment it gives.
Here she is. Oh. Mike, you're leaving out something.
Oh?
Who else was she?
Oh, goodness.
We're going to be here forever, so I'm just going to let you know.
Mhm.
She was.
Yeah, who are you thinking of?
I am
Because,
thinking of Freddie the Flute from HR Puppet stuff.
Oh, geez, you're right.
She was on the Bugalows and Lidsville, which I am a huge Sid and Marty Krofft fan. So she was also Mrs. Kelp on the Snorks.
On the Snorks, yes.
Mhm.
That's what I was thinking of.
Mm.
It's like, is she a Smurf? No, she's a Snork.
Mhm.
It's either one or the other. And appropriately, she also voices Feathers the Duck and a few other characters we will meet later.
Mhm.
So the Dopplers didn't have any children, nor did they have much money, so they were in danger of having to sell the farm to an evil steampunk robo-farmer
Oh, sure.
named Tobias Tin Whiskers,
Mhm. There he is.
who loved the efficiency of machines so much he had his entire body replaced with mechanical parts. So he's this evil Tin Man-looking farmer who's come for the rent.
Where is Doppler? I know he hides somewhere else.
Pay what you owe, or I take.
Okay, so we just have to throw it out. You know, Fred Wolf Productions could kind of be on the cheap side, and in terms of like maybe storytelling and animation, it's very obvious that they used the budget that they were getting from Paas very well. This is a kind of elaborate and weird story, even for like an early 80s cartoon.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It is. We'll get a little deeper into the backstory later, but we didn't gloss over too much. That's pretty much it. Like but I love it. I love this character.
This is ridiculous. And you know what's funny is we're watching. So as I've mentioned on the podcast before, I will watch the whatever the subject that we're doing that afternoon, or like maybe a couple hours before, so I have it fresh in my mind, especially if I haven't seen it. I'm watching it, and my wife is like kind of just playing Switch or whatever, and she like looks up and she's like, "Is that where they got the idea for the Terminator?" Because he sounds just like a very dime store Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this came out like a year and a half or whatever it was before Terminator. There might be something there.
With a hat
yeah. Beard. Oh yeah.
So Tobias Tin Whiskers is voiced by Robert Ridgely, the voice of Thundar the Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Strawberry Shortcake's nemesis, the peculiar purple pie man from Porcupine Peak.
Oh, dear gosh. Say that 10 times fast.
You've been waiting all day to say that, huh?
He has.
Yeah, well, got to test the pop filter, make sure it still works. He was also a regular in Mel Brooks movies, playing a hangman in both Blazing Saddles and Robin Hood Men in Tights. Here, Robert Ridgely is also the voice of Cotton the Rabbit.
You mean the story? Why didn't you say so? Let's go!
When I watched this, the only thing that seemed familiar to me was him. That's the only thing that made me think maybe I watched it and forgot about it. But I don't know if maybe I'm just combining it with some animated Tin Man I saw or something, but like he stands out.
He does, absolutely. Yeah, no, my memory of this before coming back to it was this character and all of the Paas characters singing a song that's going to come up pretty soon.
And live in your brain forever.
Well, we need to talk about that when we get to it. So please come back to me so I can...
we will.
Because I have a note on
it. Okay.
I'm sure you guys have the same note, but F it.
Well, we'll see. But for now, Uncle Amos explains the Dopplers needed more than help. They needed, quote, a wonderment. Hope you like that $5 word, because we're about to hear a lot of it.
Yep.
And Mama and Papa Doppler are blessed with such a wonderment in the form of a baby.
Such sounds from the henhouse inside.
A very loud baby who magically appears in the henhouse overnight under a pile of eggs. You know, where babies come from.
Yeah.
Because this is all about subtlety.
Here's your parenting pro tip of the episode. Leaving a baby under a pile of eggs in a henhouse is a really great way to not have a baby for very long.
So it's essentially, essentially the Superman's origin story, or if you want to go further, obviously that was based off Moses, but we're getting already, we're kind of seeing, this isn't going to be a very subtle cartoon, to be honest.
Oh, no, not at all.
No. It's Fred Wolf.
No. Yeah, well.
I said it on Twitter. Giving him power may have been a bad idea. This is kind of proof.
But like you said, like, this is not a lazy plot. Like, we had all funny animals and costumes. They talk in a farm. They could have easily just had a normal Easter adventure where they save a farm. But no, we're already pulling into biblical references, and we haven't even gotten in knee deep yet. So this is
Yeah, no. I mean, it's an Easter special. It's got to come up.
And for the record, I feel like that, and as loosely tied as it is, I feel like that's really the only like quasi-biblical reference that was made in this.
Yeah, that's it. Which happens.
Yeah, and I
Because
get
again,
that.
it's an Easter special. So
No.
all you're getting is dollar store version of it.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure you could buy this VHS in the dollar store too.
Yeah, right next to your Paas Easter kits.
And the Filmation Ghostbusters VHS that were available in the 90s.
There you go.
I don't know. When we get further into Peter Paas's or Peter Easter's backstory later, I'll bring up some more of that.
Yeah, so right now, all the Dopplers know about how this baby got here was a note saying, "Call me Peter Paas, and if you can, love me."
No. I would have thrown that note away and I would have been like, "You're on your own. Tell me what to do."
Not the baby.
Who's a baby?
That's that's all they get as an explanation as the special's opening credits begin with Peter Bolger singing a wonderment.
Ugh.
I sing a wonderment, I sing a cheer, I sing a happiness this time of year. I sing an April morn, a sky so fair. I sing a world reborn and everywhere.
Which I'm assuming like this is their way of dancing around the word miracle.
Oh, is that what you think?
Because there's a couple times they were talking about it almost sounded like they were about to say, "We need a wonderment."
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a very Romeo Muller word. I feel like I heard it before in something else he did. Like maybe Puff the Magic Dragon used it a couple of times or something along those lines.
You know, the thing is, he would always do he did a lot of the Rankin Bass productions, and I feel like at this point he and him teaming with Fred Wolf, I'm sure that they were both like, all right, we can't get religious, we can't get too biblical, so let's try and figure out whatever words we can use. And Wonderment came up a lot. I mean, a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, they sing a whole song about it.
Yeah, but if this was like an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, you'd see Conky screaming every second.
Conky would blow a gasket by the end of the episode.
Oh, did you just introduce a new segment?
Would have overheated.
So here I must point out, Romeo Muller wrote the lyrics to all the songs in this special, but the music was composed by Mark Volman and Howard Kaylan, better known as Flo and Eddie of the Turtles.
Okay, so can we also touch on that?
Yes.
You know who? It's going back to Down and Dirty Duck. They were the voices. They were the music in Down and Dirty Duck. So they kind of have a little relationship with Fred Wolf at this point, and I'm assuming he's just kind of looking out for his friends, which is admirable. I will say that, but
could be.
I didn't say good. I just said admirable.
There you go.
You're making me question some things about feathers now.
Oh dear.
Look, someone is going to listen to this podcast, look up Dirty Duck, and I'm going to get blamed for it. Tough titty. I'm sorry.
I just thought it was funny that the names of the turtles showed up in the credits right over Terrence the Turtle's head.
Oh.
They did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So Peter Paas, we learn, was no ordinary baby, as he grows a year every month. So in a year's time, he's got the body of a 12-year-old. That is 3 times faster than Robin Williams in the movie Jack.
Oh, dear. Another movie I hated.
You telling me that this town wasn't screaming witch and coming after this farm like that?
Oh, gosh. You could have tied this into Witch's Night Out if you tried.
It's all in the snow globe. But if you remember Jack, and you don't, but it was based on a real aging disorder called Werner syndrome. But for this special, I'll just chalk it up to a wonderment.
Sure.
And the now adolescent Peter Paas is voiced by Al Eisenman.
Animals and humans are about the same. Few clothes and a name, you'd all be folks. Same as Mama and Papa Doppler.
Who also played another cartoon kid named Pete in the 1970s Godzilla cartoon.
Oh.
The one with Godzuki.
Godzuki.
Yeah. He currently works behind the scenes as a prop master since the late 80s on shows from A Different World to Arrested Development to Criminal Minds.
Wait a minute, Mike. You're leaving some stuff out.
Am I?
Theodore Rex.
Oh, he was in Theodore Rex. I can't believe I left that note out. You're absolutely right. He's in Theodore Rex.
Mike.
I'm sorry.
All the pieces are coming together.
Terrible.
Didn't think I was coming back to Theodore Rex after talking about dinosaurs, but here we are.
Here we are. Don't you feel silly?
So in addition to aging rapidly, Peter's also very strong and hardworking and is able to help his adoptive parents keep the farm going. And we learn he has a special bond with animals because as far as he reckons, if they just had clothes and a name, they'd all be folks. And that brings us into our next song to introduce the Paas Gang. And this is the earworm I've had playing in my head every Easter for 35 years.
Sure as oaks make acorns and Easter eggs have yolks, and animals more than animal-like, an animal can be folks. Like an overgrown canary with skin between each toe and no vocabulary, quack quack is all you know. Today you're really lucky if human ways you choose. A duck is more than ducky with a magic pair of shoes. We'll call you Feathers. Like it?
I think that's just adorable.
Sure as oaks have acorns and Easter eggs have yolks, and animals more than animal-like, an animal can be folks. Which would be a great vegan anthem if the kid didn't work on an egg farm. Who wants to go first?
All right, so you give them clothes and they can talk. We're good. We go through and we get their names: Cotton the rabbit, Terrence the turtle, Feather the duck, and then the poor lamb.
Terrible.
Although the ones get human clothes, not only do they dress it as a lamb, but they combine two food words to get lollipop.
Oh, poor lollipop.
And look, we all know what's going to happen on that farm, so.
Oh, dear.
So, no, Peter has no problem with the ethical.
Yeah, right? Cotton, you're named after what your butt looks like. Feathers, you're named after what your butt looks like. Lollipop, you're named after what's going to happen to your butt.
Yep.
Oh, Lollipop the lamb. Yeah, so Peter, during this song, he finds some magic tiny animal clothes out of nowhere. And as each critter puts on an article of clothing, they gain the power of human speech.
Sure.
So Lollipop gets a flower tiara, a bell necklace, and the very recognizable voice of Russie Taylor.
Oh, what's bothering you now, Terrence?
Welcome back, Russie. We miss you. Feathers gets a pair of magic boots. Cotton gets his trademark overalls and sneakers, and Terrence the turtle gets a little derby hat with a flower in his pants. Terrence is voiced by Charles Wolfe.
This is no time for a tea party. Uncle Amos is telling the story. Come on, or we'll miss it.
Either of you know this guy? Okay, what you got?
Well, what do you got?
I know him from Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, as Elvira's Agent Manny.
Okay, no, I didn't have him there, so that's one on me.
That would have been mine.
Wait, what?
At the beginning of the Elvira movie, it's her agent, the guy with the glasses.
No.
Who says, you need to contribute some money or...
You can't quit.
Oh, then I'm looking up the... Yes, okay. Oh, gosh, that is him, isn't it?
It sure is. Like, that's his IMDb picture from the Elvira movie.
Yep, there it is. Oh, boy. Oof.
He's Terrence the turtle.
Okay, so I was thinking of someone completely different, but yeah, there he is. Puff the Magic Dragon, Dorothy in the Land of Oz, Incredible Strength. Oof, this guy is okay. All right, continue. God bless him.
He had a career. A few other animals get clothes and a name, but only two more get voices. There are a couple of chickens who become Queen Bessie and King Bossy, voiced by Joan Gerber and Charles Wolfe again. And they wrap up their song about animals can be folks when up to the farm stomps Tobias Tin Whisker shouting, "Animals can be dinner!"
Yeah.
I bet you like that line, didn't you, Chad? That sounds like a Chad line.
I mean, well, he's not exactly wrong. So I mean, but I think he was a little aggressive, and the way he's, hey, maybe he was. Well, robots don't really get hungry though. What the
Flippity gibbet!
is he doing? Going around? This guy's just delusional. I don't like him.
Yeah, does he have a digestive system anymore?
No, he's like
he's just Iron Man. We see this later on.
He's just
maybe he's like the Great Heat, where maybe he just needs to eat other robots.
Like in the Star Wars droids cartoon.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
But he sends all our newly christened folks dashing out of there, leaving Peter alone to face Tobias, who's got a mortgage paper, which apparently states he gets the Doppler's farm if they can't make this year's payment by Easter.
Yep.
I see. Me got paper, me get farm.
Yeah.
Yes.
He turns into very Incredible Hulk there, which is good because we've got Robert Ridgely.
Like for all this hostile takeovers, probably some white collar crime, you'd think he'd be able to form a sentence.
Yeah, but surprise, kids, it's a timely hit piece about landlords.
Yeah. Oh, darn. So, wait a minute. So, this guy started out as a really intelligent, businessman and all that. So, did they replace his brain when he got turned into a robot to kind of make him dumb?
Oh, I don't know. Because, here's where we get into his backstory. Peter is very confused about this because, he's a year old. And he asks Mama and Papa Doppler about it, and we get the backstory of the farmer, formerly known as Tobias Toot, which sadly is a steampunk joke and not a fart joke. But
that's as good an explanation for a supervillain origin as any.
He should have had a whistle and kept the name.
Yeah, why not?
We're gonna go Tin Whiskers or Toot.
Yeah, but Tobias's origin story might be the most interesting part of this whole special. He inherited a bunch of money, bought himself a tractor, and sold all his neighbors under, then fell so hard for the idea of machinery being superior to manual labor or manual everything, so he replaced his entire body with mechanical parts.
Absolutely.
Like a human ship of Theseus.
There he is.
Look, everyone, it's the White Vision.
Remember, in industrial revolution and capitalism is evil, kids.
Then he straps a plow onto the front of himself, and off he goes. It's literal Mr. Plow.
Well, okay, but you're also leaving out that when he straps the plow on, he kind of runs into the shed or the barn, and he just kind of topples it over. Yeah,
and leaves it there.
And he just leaves it there,
it's not his barn. He just wants the land.
Well,
I think he knows how farming works.
Yeah, but you know what? You can get some money for all that scrap. Why wouldn't he try and sell?
Yeah. Well, probably using all the scrap on himself.
Oh.
So the Dopplers are heartbroken at the possibility of losing their livelihood, but Peter says he has a plan and recruits his animal buds to go with him to a place he knows.
Oh. Okay.
A special place.
A quiet place, far in the woodland deep.
A sleeping place, a quiet place, far in the woodland deep. Awakens but just once a year, its promises to keep.
The home of who I guess is Peter's biological mom, the physical embodiment of Mother Nature herself.
By Mother Nature, she is known to you. So, suggesting that she has other names throughout, which opens up whole mythological areas.
But I don't know if Peter's remembering all of this from when he was a tiny baby or what. I guess it's clearer in his head, being only a year ago, but I guess the magic baby from the forest could also form memories as a newborn. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. But they established that he grows at an accelerated rate. Maybe he already had a fully developed brain.
Right.
Something. Because when she sent him away, she left him with this message to return again on the morning before spring. So he could understand instructions.
He could. It Took him a while to get there, but I guess.
It sounds like he knows to return to this forest before the spring, but it sounds like he was keeping that secret from the Doppler, so I don't know. But somehow he knows, he has that imprinted into his mind that, all right, I need to go and need to go back to the forest now. So he and the animals make their way into the woods where what appears to be a falling star lands nearby and transforms into a signed contract to supply colored eggs to the Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny had his lawyers draft up.
Yes.
Well, before we go a little bit further on that,
okay,
just because we were talking about the biblical implications. So we don't know, we don't know what Mother Nature was before her family situation, but with what we have, he's a divine virgin birth if it was just something that she magically created.
Oh.
So we have that coming up. Or, so of the many interpretations of the Easter legends, don't at me, one of the Easter is named for Astara, goddess of spring, form of Mother Nature. And where we get the Easter Bunny from is that in those legends, her consort mate was a fertility god with a rabbit head.
Is that why we don't actually see the Easter Bunny in this special?
Maybe he's an absentee father. I don't know.
No, he's not. He's the one who brings them to the Dopplers.
Okay. But I'm saying, so either virgin birth or son of the Easter Bunny, and
a little column A, a little column B. But that explains why he was left under a pile of eggs. Yes, silly rabbit.
Where else would he?
Look, if they're anything like my rabbits, they're just going to leave a giant pile and mountain of, crap everywhere. So that doesn't really, it's not too far off from what they normally do. They're just being a little bit nicer.
There you go. But yeah, no, we only see the Easter Bunny's shadow in this, which I kind of like. I like that they keep it mysterious.
It is. As much as I love Easter specials, usually it gets pretty silly once you see like the talking bunny and everything. But by leaving him off screen, he's like, gives him gravitas.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the bunny, he's here somewhere.
Which I like better because when I was a kid dyeing the Paas Easter eggs, I thought Cotton was supposed to be the Easter Bunny. But I like that they kept the real bunny a mysterious figure we don't even get to see. But apparently he's loaded because everyone seems pretty sure he'll have no trouble paying the Dopplers for thousands and thousands and thousands of eggs.
Thousands and thousands.
Yes.
I wonder what currency he pays in. I'm thinking golden eggs, but...
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just picturing the bunny just like flipping through dollar bills.
Ted DiBiase, pretty much.
Yes.
Everybody has a price. For the Easter Bunny.
And we cut to the initially worried King Bossy the Rooster, who's like thousands and thousands and thousands of eggs, giving a nervous glance off camera. And that's why we have a PG-13 rating now, kids. Such an appropriate point to cut to commercial so I can talk to my children.
Paas really gets things rolling. Paas makes a family fun. Open the Easter egg color kit, and the good times have just begun.
Drop a colored tablet into vinegar and cold water.
Then dip a hard-boiled egg
for a rainbow of beautiful Easter colors.
Paas really gets things rolling. With rubber egg holders too, of cotton, feathers, and lollipop, just to name a few.
So pick up a Paas Easter egg color kit and really get things rolling.
And when we return, we see piles and piles and piles of eggs being colored by the animals. Ta-da!
And to their credit, the only instance of egg coloring dye in the whole special.
Hey, yeah, I thought there'd be more of that.
Yeah, that's true. You would have expected more.
You think they'd be like turn into the camera going, well, fortunately, we have these.
Hey, yeah. They should have used like the little wires with the hexagon at the bottom.
Oh, geez.
Lowering them in.
They're all piled up into what looks like 100-foot high column outside the barn. We see the Easter Bunny's shadow loom over the pile, and then both just fade out as Uncle Amos simply explains the Easter Bunny spirited them away to the four corners of the world.
You just said Amos, and I was just wondering, did Peter give Amos clothes and bring him to life too?
I don't know.
Because that's weird.
I don't know.
I'm going to bring you to life and leave the life growing inside of you in purgatory. Like,
oh dear. That didn't work. Here, have a hat.
Yeah.
You're a talking egg now.
You're good.
There you go. Growing
Sorry,
that beard.
that just hit me.
Yeah. No, that is weird. But Easter morning arrives. Everyone seems happy. They all go to breakfast. And then Peter decides, you know what this Easter's missing? To quote our good friend Tom Turkey, a nice play.
No, not Tom Turkey.
So he builds a stage in the barnyard, and all the animals reprise their Animals Can Be folk song.
Okay. I just need to kind of interrupt you and pause you for a second. You know that thing where animators will kind of try and find a way to fill time and kind of cut corners, so they'll reuse previous scenes or frames or segments.
Yep, they reused the whole dance number.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times. And it's not even like...
Here's a creepy close-up of Cotton dancing.
Golly. Oh my gosh. It's like...
People give Disney a hard time like reusing animation frames, but everybody does it.
No, I know. Hey, no, Filmation was notorious. Their entire production, they probably only had like maybe 4 actual, 4 fresh scenes that they actually created. And they probably just spread it out to about 150 episodes. I get that, but it's just like, oh my gosh, this is crammed into a 22-minute cartoon.
It's clever when it's done well.
But this was not done well. It was very obvious.
And it's just that song again.
And all that noise brings Tobias Tin Whiskers back around, expecting to take over the Doppler's farm, only for Peter to cheerfully hand him a big old bag of cash.
Well, he stopped the song, so he's the hero of the show now.
Here you go. And at first, Tobias is dumbfounded at how they were able to come up with the money. And Peter just up and tells him, we got an egg contract. He doesn't actually say it's with the Easter Bunny, but it's enough for Tobias to jealously challenge Peter to a plowing contest the following morning in Tobias's South 40. And this city slicker had to look up that one. Are y'all familiar with the term South 40?
No. And I'm from, borderline, I guess, south, but no.
So maybe like 40 acres?
Yes. So the Homestead Act of 1862 granted 160 acres of land to anyone willing to farm it for at least 5 years. Divide those 160 acres into 4 squares of 40, and the so-called South 40 referred to the remote or uncultivated section of a farm, a spot ripe for plowing.
Sure.
Or so it ought to be, but Tobias Tin Whiskers' South 40 was the unkept remains of that old farm where he had knocked down the barn and taken it over. Among its features is a 100-foot deep old well that Tobias covers up with sticks and soil before the plowing contest.
Sure.
And wouldn't you know it, Peter the Incredible Growing Baby plows faster than the Angry Tin Man at first until, the well.
Yeah.
Falls right in.
And there he goes from white-collar crime to attempted child murder.
Yep. And Uncle Amos sadly tells us about how the Dopplers and their neighbors pulled Peter out of there and found him in what I will describe as a coma. They don't call it that. They just say he's got a heartbeat, but he won't wake up.
Duke's in a coma.
Sleeps all through summer, fall, and winter, and oh no, here comes spring. And Peter's still asleep and can't go to the forest. But his animal buddies can, so they sadly march into the woods to find Mother Nature waiting for them. Just, oh, hey, y'all. And of course, she's got what she says will cure Peter's sleep right there. Well, why didn't you bring that earlier?
Yeah.
Very unconcerned with her son's coma.
Is she not allowed to leave the forest? She's Mother Nature.
Yeah, but nature is in the forest.
Nature exists outside a clump of trees, can she not? But what?
But the house and the barn and the farm, all man-made.
Oh, can she not go near farms because they're man-made?
No, I don't think I think she only can control what she created, and I'm guessing like anything that is, produced by man, I don't think she can go near.
Okay.
That's my guess.
I would say nature is all about seasons, especially in these holiday specials.
Right.
So she can do this, but it has to be with the Easter magic of resurrection and new life. This is what she's tapping into.
It could be a little of both. I do like where Chad's going, though, because otherwise it's a weird move to just wait around like that.
And you know what? I didn't even really think about it. That's somewhat loosely biblical, too, because there was the whatever belongs to God, whatever belongs to Caesar belongs to Caesar. And that's kind of where it's kind of leading me to think. Like, and honestly, this is just the more we talk about it, and I didn't really catch this until you brought it up, Mike, but like that's kind of where my mind is going. That seems kind of biblical. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking a line from the song. He said that place in the woods appeared only once each year, so maybe that's her chance to take human form.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
It is spring now, so now she can come and
like the portal to Mother Nature's magical forest is open.
She's like death from the endless.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the cure for Peter's sleep, of course, is an egg. A plain-looking egg at that. It's a free-range brown kind.
Ugly-looking egg.
Which are now the only kind of eggs my kids will eat. So that's what we're dyeing this year. We'll see how the colors turn out.
Good luck with that.
It'll be a true test of Paas's magic.
It's going to look like Pigpen from Charlie Brown.
There you go. Now
get the ones you shake with the glitter.
Oh, shake an egg.
Yeah.
We could do that. We have glitter in bags.
Done.
So it's Joan Gerber again doing the voice of Mother Nature, who explains when the egg hatches.
That which bursts from inside will awaken him.
What's inside, ma'am?
You will see only when it hatches.
Or what?
That's what she said.
I know, but what?
We'll find out, I guess.
Okay.
And Cotton decides the egg is too important to entrust to the hens.
Yep.
Right.
Which...
Forget the professionals.
Sit down, Cotton. Mansplaining the eggs to the chickens. So he turns to Feathers, who says, "You're right, we'll hatch it ourselves." And both boys of the group, Cotton and Terrence, make a worried face like, "What do you mean, we?"
Yeah, I was going to say, what is this we nonsense? Who's cleaning this mess off?
We ain't ready to hatch no baby.
Oh.
I love how quick Feathers was with that. She knew where this was going, and she was like,
All right.
Nope.
But they do it for Peter. The four of them take shifts, sitting on the egg, under the kitchen table inside the Doppler's house. I guess safe enough away to not accidentally get kicked. And it's Lolly Chop the Lamb who first feels the egg kick a little, and that leads us into a song about we got an egg and nobody knows whatever is inside of it.
Inside every apple is an apple core. In every pretty peach is a pit.
But we got an egg and nobody knows
Whatever is inside of it.
We got an egg.
Mike, you remember how I was telling you when we did, what was this? I've already forgotten the name of it. What was the Thanksgiving episode we did?
It was just called A Thanksgiving Tale.
Yeah, so Mike, you know that I just, whenever I see a musical number coming, my stomach starts doing cartwheels. This was just nonstop. It was just like, if I could get more nauseous, then I would need to be taken to the hospital because the amount of songs in this is just like, holy cow, like what Why?
That's branding. If you want to become the new Rudolph, you're trying to throw out these songs that are going to be sung from coast to coast.
They got the Turtles to write this.
Yeah.
But during the song, they all take turns guessing. Do you guys have a favorite guess as to what's inside the egg?
Oh, so because I love Easter specials, one of the things I grade them on is how much they try and tie things into Santa, as most do. So I appreciate that the only mention of Santa in this is, hey, maybe one of Santa's elves is inside. That would be nice.
Sure.
And no, it's not.
No. Mm-mm.
I like, it's got to be the wizard for me. They think a wizard might be in the egg. You know how they're always being born out of eggs.
The wizard?
Yes, tiny baby Luke Edwards is in the egg.
Yes, it's just a giant VHS of the wizard. I love this idea.
Because I was like, California.
Oh gosh,
It's California Dutch.
If someone hasn't done that yet, I am begging them to do that.
Do it.
Hi, Luke.
Yeah, he listens to the podcast.
Oh, for sure.
No. Well, it's now the day before Easter, and Papa Doppler calls for the animals to help him get the eggs ready for the Easter Bunny, because he sure hasn't done this before.
Nope.
And the gang leave Lollychop to cover their egg while they get to work. And after they're done, it's Terrence's turn to sit on the egg, and of course he's all tuckered out, so he falls asleep. And that's when Tobias Tin Whiskers sneaks into the Doppler's farmhouse with pillows tied to his feet.
Yeah.
Smart.
Because I guess socks wouldn't have the same effect, and also don't come in his size.
You know, these animals are going to extreme lengths to save a kid that's, for all intents and purposes, probably going to turn them into food and sell them for like $1 a pound at the market.
No, not those animals. He gave those animals clothes. You give them clothes, you can't sell them for food.
Well, we don't know. We didn't get.
You have the Goofies and you have the Plutos. It's two different.
Yes.
But we didn't get it. We didn't get a sequel.
Oh dear.
No, we didn't.
No. I mean,
the only Paas mascot left is Feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They replaced all the others. They still have a bunny, but it's not Cotton. They named it Paws. Which
Paws.
Paws. Boo.
Because I'm assuming that once their Easter Messiah didn't work out well, they wanted to keep that name in the cycle. So
here it is.
I'm just of the mind that this guy just had bad intentions.
So, but you were talking about them working so hard to save Peter, and both the animals and Tin Whiskers, they say repeatedly, we need Peter to wake up to save the farm. Why?
Exactly. Because the parents were old.
Yeah, they're old.
And they couldn't do anything. And Peter all of a sudden came to save the day.
That's fine, but so it's Easter. They have the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
They have the contract. Now I get, okay, they want to save their friend for altruistic reasons. That's great. But when Tin Whiskers comes in, it's like, I'm going to steal this egg and then I'll get the farm. That's not how a contract works.
Well,
unless like the Easter Bunny makes out the check to Peter's name and only he can cash it.
Bunny's not there yet. He was probably getting ready to get the other eggs or something. But
listen, I can tell you right now, rabbits would let you die before they ever put themselves at risk. This is complete nonsense. Listen.
The Easter Bunny looks out for one person, the Easter Bunny.
Yes, he does.
Oh.
All I'm saying is Tin Whiskers would have been better off smashing the eggs that he was going to buy.
Well, he almost makes it out of there with this egg. But again, we see the creepy shadow of the Easter Bunny arrive and send Tobias running to try to escape. But he runs smack into the chicken coop and wakes up all the chickens. King Bossy must still be loopy from helping make all those eggs. So he forgets how to wake everyone up for a second before Queen Bessie reminds him to say cock-a-doodle-doo, dear.
He's got the egg. What'll we do?
Wake everyone.
Huh?
Say cock-a-doodle-doo, dear.
Oh, yes.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
So he wakes up the Dopplers and the animals, who all go running after Tobias, and the dumb old robot isn't watching where he's running, and now he falls into his own well.
Sure.
Well, victim of circumstance.
And we're sending our lug nuts down the well. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Ooh, nice Simpsons reference.
Yeah, well, and it's appropriate because Papa Doppler is about to step on a rake trying to catch the egg. Because as Tobias falls down the well, he sends the egg flying, so now it's a scramble scene to catch it and prevent it from being another kind of scramble. A lot of I got it, and both Cotton and Terrence fumble the egg, which softens the blow of its fall, but it still starts to hatch right then and there into a wacky green kooky bird.
Woohoo! This must be the place.
Yay! Jar Jar's here. Great.
Basically.
How you feel about musical numbers is how I feel about wacky characters.
Yes, it's they call it a kooky bird. He's wearing pants and clown shoes right out of the egg, and suspenders and a tacky necktie. And if you thought Peter grew quickly, the bird already appears to be fully grown and already telling dad jokes.
Great day for the race.
What race?
The human race.
It says, this must be the place. So I think these eggs are just like a teleport for previously existing.
Wow. No, they're a gateway of some sort.
He's from Orc.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
It's a spaceship.
Yeah.
Great day for a race.
What race? The human race. Oh, it's Bob Holt's voice again doing the kooky bird. And these dad jokes are enough to make everyone start laughing, and the laughter is loud enough to wake Peter from his coma. That's it. All it took was a couple of bad jokes this whole time.
That's all. And that was the lesson. They were all so sad about their friend being sick that they didn't laugh and cure him. So don't be sad about your friend.
Yes, laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah. Well, I would be more satisfied if they were laughing at him.
Oh dear.
That would just make me so happy.
This kooky bird seems like he wouldn't mind either way.
No.
But as Uncle Amos explains it, Tobias Tin Whiskers somehow laughed himself up from the bottom of a well? How'd that work?
He's very manic depressive.
We're learning so much today. But of course, the super special kooky bird jokes make Tin Whiskers' heart grow 3 sizes and come bursting out of his tin shell and give everyone their farms back.
All right.
So he gives them all back. Now he's poor. And so now he works for the people.
Yeah, including his own farm, I guess, because Tobias Toot comes to work for the Dopplers. So Peter can leave because we're told he was called by Mother Nature to help other folks in need.
Yes.
His planet needs him.
Easter, he resurrects, and then he ascends to go be with the divine again.
And then he's gone. Yeah. Wow. But not before one last literal sign of good old name brand recognition as the former Tin Town is renamed Paasville.
We're Paas! Make him remember! Paas!
And Uncle Amos sings us a wonderment out of there.
And what I'm singing now, you can sing too. Let's sing a wonderment for me and you.
And that's it. We made it. A short, sweet Easter special that for some reason I will never forget.
I wish.
So what do you think? How many stars do you give this?
Oh, I'm not much of a star rater. A solid 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
You know what? Wait a minute. We need to go back. How many Easter eggs? Because we're not doing that Dave Meltzer BS.
No.
All right.
Match.
Okay. 2 creams, half a caramel.
I don't know what it is. I wasn't a fan of this one, so I give it absolutely negative 57,000.
Oh dear. Just a pile of rotten eggs.
Oh gosh, yes. A pile of rotten eggs. I like that. This wasn't as bad as, like, say, the Thanksgiving one, which you had brought up maybe 20 minutes ago, and I've already forgotten the name. But it's still, I can kind of see why it's kind of gone under the radar for so many people, and like it's not really mentioned.
Yeah, my wife bought it out of the dollar bin at Best Buy. It's over there. But I have to say, even if I don't enjoy it, I admire it.
Yeah.
Like I said, they could have gone for a cookie cutter plot, and they just really seemed that, you forget Santa, we're going to have Peter Easter here, we're going to give him biblical tie-ins, pagan tie-ins, this is going to be Easter. And I don't think it turned out that well, but I like that they shot their shot.
And also, here are your friends from Paas who aren't even the main characters. It was a short 24 minutes. It gets in and out very quickly, but I can't imagine it being any better if we lingered on any piece of it. It's the right length for what it is, and again, it's certainly memorable enough that I can't get it out of my head. But thank you both for hopping down this memory trail with me.
Thank you. Anything to extend my Easter celebration.
There you go.
See, there you go.
This special's pretty easy to find online. I didn't find a copy with actual commercials, sadly, but I did find an upload of the entire VHS with something else.
Really? What else was
just previews? It was just previews of stuff in the end, and then they tack stuff to the end of it to get through the runtime.
Oh.
Yeah, my DVD, that's all it has is previews of Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah. So it was like a celebrity home video where they put all the previews at the end?
No, they had them at the beginning.
Yeah. They had them I see the version I watched. There were two versions I found. I couldn't find anything, beginning or end.
Huh.
So, but, I don't know. Whatever.
But to find this one, if you haven't watched it, and if you haven't, it's been a while. It's worth another watch, maybe. But
maybe.
So if people want to challenge you to a plowing contest on their unkept South 40s, where can they find you on the internet, Sammy?
Well, you can find me at Sammy Hain on Twitter, and with the hashtag Easter Sammy if you want to get all my up-to-the-minute Easter coverage that I do every year.
Please do that. And Chad?
Well, first, listen, I'm going to kind of just do this for a quick second. If you're listening, since we are talking about Easter, and I know that you're dropping this in July, stop giving rabbits as Easter presents to kids.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Do not do that. No, do your research. Do not set them free. Domestic rabbits will die in the wild. And quite frankly, most rabbits, if not all, that are given as Easter gifts usually die or are given back to rescues within a couple months. So stop it. Knock it off. Do your research as to why rabbits are not just some easy pet. That said, you can find me at horrormoviebarbecue.com and across all social media at horrormoviebarbecue.
Yes, Chad is a very responsible bunny dad. He knows what he's talking about.
Thank you.
Go to a petting farm like normal people.
Well, yes. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Get a plush rabbit, get some rabbit action figures.
Right,
There's lots of options.
Get a chocolate bunny for your kids or a plush bunny. Do not buy a real dog.
Yes. Pets are like kids. You got to take care of them the right way.
Yeah.
And I am on Twitter at FallWestMike and AdventCalHouse. You can find show notes and links at adventcalendar.house. And that wraps up another Easter in July special. And hey, thanks. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And we switch back to Christmas in July in just a couple of days. Until then, for Chad Young and Sammy Hain, live and incubating under my kitchen table, which sure beats the unseen bottom of a 100-foot well, this is Mike Westfall reminding you to mind the icy patch and watch your step. Good night.
Gobble, gobble. Wait, wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the last one.
Whatever is inside of it.
And now, these messages.
Love, family, traditions, presents, pumpkins, fireworks, Santa Claus. All make you think of holidays, right? Well, what about murder, heartbreak, gangsters, and witchcraft? Still thinking about holidays? Beginning this February, I will take you on a journey to the lesser-known sides of the holidays, the sides history might try to forget, the celebrations that you might not be familiar with. Oh, and don't worry, I'll be sprinkling in some elements of normal holiday traditions too. After all, even those of us with the dark side still have a special place in our hearts for the Easter Bunny, Valentine's candy, cute jack-o'-lanterns and ghosts, and of course, all things merry and bright. Let's uncover and celebrate the strange and unusual together. I'm your host, Kristen, and this is Holidays After Dark.
Next time on the Advent Calendar House.
Punky Brewster gets into the holiday spirit.
I can't wait till Christmas. I wish it was today.
Will her Christmas wish come true? It's a very special hour of Punky Brewster.